On the topic of confessionals about embarrassing moments, what's something about screenwriting that you're almost embarrassed to admit that took you so long to figure out?
Me personally, that I'm no good at it. The reason that I'm a teacher and a consultant and a story doctor is that my big secret is I don't enjoy writing screenplays. I tried for a while to do it, but it's not my thing. If poetry paid, I'd be in the chips because I'm a poet. That's what I love to write. And I also like to write novels. But years ago, the reason I became what I am is I failed to complete a screenplay. It got huge interest, and I realized at the end of it, it says, I don't like this form. It's just not for me. I love analyzing it. I love understanding how it works. I love helping other people do it. But I don't enjoy sitting down every day and writing in the screenplay form. It's not my thing. I love to doctor and to help other people do it. That's just my thing. We all have our thing. So that's my thing. So that's sort of my embarrassing secret is this is a craft I adore analyzing and teaching other people about that I myself don't enjoy doing. That's kind of embarrassing for somebody who works in this field, but it's the truth. And it's sort of been the wound that pushed me into deeply understanding it because I did so much want to understand how it worked because I thought that would be the way in for me to really do it well. But it turns out it didn't give me great pleasure to actually work in this form.
How long did it take you to figure this out?
Well, I started really story doctoring about 13 years ago, and that's after this big failure to I had a story idea that got enormous interest, and it was, well, we're on our way. This is the dream, and then I couldn't complete it, and then so I had crashed and burned, and then I started thinking, why couldn't I finish it? How does story really work? And as I started looking at how story worked, I understood this is my passion. I want to understand it so I can show other people how it works and how to do it, but I don't enjoy doing it. And that took like 3 or 4 years to really just sort of admit to myself. But all the time I was starting to get great joy from helping other people with their scripts. And then, as I said, I've read over 7,000 scripts, so I knew what these patterns were. I developed this idea, this analytical tool called the BMOC that everyone started to love. And it's a way of writing around an insight about your hero, which is about the wound. And as I started doing this, I got hired by more and more people, and I just began really getting passionate about helping them understand and bring to their story what I'd learned about great story, all great hit story. And that became sort of my passion. I still write poetry.
When you say you weren't interested in the form, was it also sitting at the computer alone and being sort of your own taskmaster?
No, I'm good alone. It was, look, screenwriting is a little bit like doing chemistry. Or math, or haikus, let's call it, because I'm a poet. I don't know if you know what a haiku is. It's a very particular form. You have to have certain number of syllables in this line, certain in this line. That's what screenwriting's like. So you've got to learn this pattern. It's very precise. It's not like writing a novel, although I teach that too. And boy, if you want to be free form and not worry so much, write a novel. Although you still need that character change. But a screenplay is very particular. And television, which is what I do more now than movies, because TV is where so much great creative stuff is happening today, is even more regimented, right? Even though on cable you can tell a story now in double hours. One of my clients got a note from a producer I've never heard before, which was, can you make the pilot longer? But even so, even though television is revolutionizing the way we tell stories in a Chekhovian way, getting longer and longer, like the Russian novel of the 19th century, and that's why you know it's great. There's still this A, B, C, D, E, F plot structure that's very specific that you must do, that even the hippest guys like Vince Gilligan have to use in Breaking Bad. This plot structure is rigorous. So that I chafed at. That I didn't like. I don't want it. I don't want to have a second act where all this happens. Nope, that's not for me. I'm a stupid rebel at heart. So the form was so precise that for me, I didn't enjoy fitting my vision into it, even though I knew how to do it. Didn't enjoy it. Just not my thing. But I love helping other people do it. And I love studying how it works and how it changes. And it's changing all the time. My God, in the last 3 years, movies have changed enormously. You can't talk about things like 30, 60, 90 anymore. Movies are shorter. The studios have taken over with their superheroes. That's a whole different discipline I haven't talked to you about. But it's a particular discipline. And it doesn't give me pleasure to do that. I forgot the question, but anyway, I guess I answered it.
Do you remember the day that did you have like an aha moment and, scripts pages went flying and said, this is it?
I knew when I had this big insight about how all great movies are structured. I knew no one else had ever discovered that. That was my E equals C squared moment. Because this insight I had helped so many writers, and it became sort of the central thing I still talk about today. There's 4 points in every movie story when a hero's asked to change, when a hero's core wound is put to the test. And that pattern is there virtually from everything from Star Wars to Pulp Fiction. And when I discovered that, it was like, wow, this is cool. This I can give to writers. And it helps writers enormously, this rhythm, this pattern. Every great story has it. And I don't think anybody really discovered it before. So that moment was when I thought, if I can just get that, and that's kind of what I'm writing a book right now about. And that's helped a lot of writers. So that was the insight that really made me realize this is for me, helping people understand how to tell their story in this rhythm. And it works for television too.